The Los Angeles Lakers get swept in the Western Conference Finals. A LeBron James-led team gets swept in the Western Conference Finals. And can't even put this all on LeBron at all. But man, this one here, it stings a little bit. But I guess as far as the Lakers, how they started and how they finished, the season wasn't a failure. But as far as, LeBron James trying to win ring number 5, of course, that's a failure by default. But as far as the Lakers organization, that season wasn't a failure based on, the overhaul that they did at the trade deadline here. So the Lakers ended up losing 113 to 111 last night as Denver completes the sweep in the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles. I mean, LeBron had 31 points at halftime. He came to play. That man was hitting threes. That man was attacking the basket, posting people up. I mean, he came out with a lot of energy. He did. And, he played like they still had a chance to take it game by game to, try to do a historic comeback that, has never been done before. Nobody ever come down 0-3. Ever. In basketball. And, of course, that's not happening either. But, LeBron came to play, 40 points, 10 boards, 9 assists. But it just comes back to the same old story in this series. As much as the Lakers, try, and don't get me wrong, they actually played well. In my opinion, overall in this series, they played well. It just wasn't enough. Denver just had more. Denver was just more consistent. Like the Lakers, in at least 2 games this season, in this series, maybe 2.5 games, they actually showed that, they were in control for the majority of the game. But the thing is, the Lakers can get up. Even in this game, I believe they was up 15 at halftime. But you really never had the sense that they was going to blow out the Nuggets. Like, no lead was safe with the Lakers. The Nuggets can score in bunches. The Nuggets can score quickly and efficiently. The Nuggets can get up and down very, assertively. It just takes a couple of moments. And then all of a sudden, that leads down to 7. And then all of a sudden, it goes from 7 to 3. Then all of a sudden, Nuggets got the lead. And they don't give it up. They just keep going. They don't stop. And you get the Lakers at times to where their defense has been great, but the offense at some points in time can run stagnant, where they get about 4, 5, 6 missed shots in a row. And guess what? The Nuggets are turning them 4, 5, and 6 missed shots in a row into points. Then all of a sudden it's a run. Then all of a sudden that big lead that the Lakers had is gone, or the close game that it once was is no more because the Denver blew the game wide open. So yeah, the Nuggets completed the sweep. I mean, Nuggets won game 1 by 6, won game 2 by 5, won game 3 by 11, and won this game by 2. LeBron had a chance to tie the game at the end of the game, but, good defense. Good defense prevented that from happening. LeBron at the, after the game, basically said he has to, I guess, quote unquote, well, I don't say quote unquote, but to paraphrase, he has to think about if he wants to come back or not. This man is contemplating retirement. Now the question is if that's a serious, belief, or he's using that as, potential leverage for the Lakers to continue to do something here. That's the part that's very unsure, that has a lot of uncertainty. But, at this point, I mean, the man just got through with his 20th season in the league, 38 years old, will be 39 in December. This man played 2 decades. He's seen a lot of people come and go. I mean, I strongly feel like even if he comes back for a year or two, he's not winning another title. Not with the Lakers. I don't see it. That ship has sailed unless, a major tweak or something. I don't see it. Even if you add Kyrie Irving, I don't think it's enough. Because if this was, 4-5 years ago, oh yeah, that's more than enough. They would get it done. But as we found out specifically in this series, LeBron cannot be the LeBron that we're accustomed to seeing anymore because Father Time says you have to slow down just a tad. You could be out there playing 40 minutes, but are you really playing 40 minutes? That's the part. So, we'll see what's up with that. So as far as the rest of the Lakers, Anthony Davis, 21-14. So Anthony Davis' stat line in the series has actually been pretty good. But if you, watch the games per se, and with the eye test, some of that is a little skewed. Because for, I would say, at least half the series, he was getting bullied by Jokic. And it's to the point to where they had to put Rui Hachimura on him so AD can roam around because AD cannot play that man straight up. That's how bad it was getting. And speaking of Hachimura, he only had 10 points. He was 3 of 12 from the field last night, and he has been one of the most consistent players for their team by far. Austin Reeves only had 17. I won't say only because this man, was dropping 20 points here and there throughout this series. Schroeder, they started Schroeder and Hachimura and sat Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell from the starting lineup. Schroeder had 13. D'Angelo Russell, my gosh, that man did nothing. 4 points. He has played like a bum this whole series, for lack of words. And, not sure what his future will hold with the Lakers. Will they give him a contract extension? Will they let him walk? Before the series, it was looking like contract extension, but I know we live in a microwave society and what have you done for me lately type of league, so we'll see what happens there. As far as the Nuggets, man, Jokic with another triple-double, 13 points, 14 boards, 13 assists. This is the Denver Nuggets' first trip to the NBA Finals in franchise history. Jamal Murray added 25. You had 22 from Aaron Gordon, who hit 3 threes. Michael Porter Jr. with a second straight double-double, 15 points, 10 boards. Caldwell Pope was setting the tone in the first quarter. He ended it with 13. They only played 7 players, but they got the job done. He definitely got the job done. So now the Denver Nuggets await, which will probably more than likely be the Miami Heat, as the Heat play tonight. Game 4 in Miami in South Beach. And what I find, crazy, because every now and then I'm on DraftKings or MGM or whatnot, the Heat were underdogs at home against the Celtics. I found that astonishing. Like, the Miami Heat, the team that we saw just go into Boston and win 2 games on the road, the team that has yet to lose a game at home in these playoffs, the team that has Jimmy Butler, and you made them the underdogs at home. Wow. Because in game 3, the Heat won by 26 points. That game was not close at all. At all. And so, they finally got the Heat to be favorites tonight. They must have learned something. They 1.5 point favorites, which I don't think is enough at all. So, as far as the Celtics, man, the question I'm going to ask, and I've been asking on Facebook here, if Ime Udoka was still the head coach of the Boston Celtics, would this series have a different outcome? Not saying that the Celtics would win, but, would they play better? Would there be more heart? More importantly, would they have an identity? Because I feel like they do not have an identity with their current coach, with Joe Mazzulla. I don't feel like they have one. I mean, Marcus Smart was on record like a couple weeks ago saying that the offense is random. Like, what kind of answer is that? There's no way that your offense should be random. You can have different components to the offensive scheme that you run, and you can get different, play calls within that, but your offense should not be random whatsoever. That should not be the case. And this was probably the biggest mismatch of this series. It's the coaching. You have Eric Spoelstra, who's been around for about 15 years now, it feels like. Probably a little less than that, as far as a head coach. Who's been to 5 NBA Finals, who's on the verge of going to his 6th one, who's won 2 NBA Finals. I mean, I know he's never won a Coach of the Year, but he's, head and shoulders the best coach in the NBA right now. Like, you have 6 or 7 undrafted players on your team that is key components to this run that you're on right now. The fact that you have Gabe Vincent out here, pulling up at Jason Tatum's face with confidence and hitting shots, he has the belief that he can be on the same playing field as one of the star players in this league. When you have Caleb Martin out here telling stories that J. Cole was the reason why he had a chance to sign with the Miami Heat, and he's out here balling like it's his last game all the time, what can you do? When you have Duncan Robinson, who's been benched for the majority of this year because he couldn't play any defense, he couldn't put the ball on the ground, he couldn't play make. He's out here hitting threes, putting the ball on the ground, hitting layups, making plays. When you have Max Strus out here becoming the second coming of Ray Allen at times, just lighting it up and putting the ball on the floor. And then not to mention the veterans that you have. The addition of Kevin Love, who is a, sensational, underrated signing in the buyout market. Bam Adebayo, he's not playing scared. In this matchup last year, like, Al Horford was bullying him. Now he's the one that's the bully. He's the one that's embracing the contact. He's the one that wants to smoke. It's Bam. And he's playing consistently. We have Kyle Lowry coming off the bench, making sure that the game doesn't get out of hand and can still light it up at times. And, of course, Jimmy Butler. My gosh. How can you not root for this guy? As many conversations as I had over the last 2 weeks about Jimmy Butler, either doing the other podcast or just friends and family, even people, even some of my friends that's not even heavy in the basketball, in our group chat, just talking about how, the greatness of the Miami Heat team and Jimmy Butler and what he's been able to do. And how we reminisce because he used to be on our team in Chicago. We drafted the guy. We had him here for at least 4 years. Jimmy was that guy. And we saw it happen And we also saw the organization trade him away. And I could sit here and go on for about another 20 to 40 minutes on Jimmy Butler, but he's on this run right here. He's doing something special. The Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler win this championship here this year. This championship holds as much weight as any single title in the history of this league. There's only been one 8 seed that has made the NBA Finals, and that was the Knicks in '99, who ironically beat the Heat in the first round in the lockout year. They ended up losing to the Spurs in the finals, but they were the only 8 seed to make the finals. Now, history says at this point, with them being up 3-0, they're pretty much guaranteed to make it to the NBA Finals because, like I just explained a little while ago, there's never in the history of basketball has a team come back down 3-0. Hasn't happened. Not saying it can't happen, but smart money says it's not happening. And based on the eye test and how this series has been going, it's not happening. In fact, I expect the second broom to come out tonight and end this series expeditiously. Holds a lot of weight. If they win, it holds a lot of weight. It really does. So yeah, we will see if the Heat get it done tonight. I believe they will. Them being a 1.5 point favorite is not enough. So if I feel like, being a little froggy today, I'm either, depends on what the odds are, probably end up taking the money line. But 1.5, that's not enough. I feel like they win by at least 6. Boston has showed no heart. Jaylen Brown has played like a scrub. I mean, how does Bam Adebayo put you in a spin cycle, make you fall on the ground, cock back two-handed dunk, and you just sitting there looking like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home, like a Southwest Airlines commercial. That's what it looked like. And I know that Jason Tatum, had a 50-point game on Mother's Day, but I mean, we a little far away from Mother's Day at this point. That seemed like a long time ago. And yeah, Tatum, for the most part, he's getting his, but it's like it's coming in meaningless moments, a lot of it. They just get outworked. Miami just wanted more. And I feel like that mentality is going to keep them going. And when we get to the NBA Finals, and we'll talk about it when we get there, but man, that's going to be entertaining. All right, so we'll see what happens tonight. I believe this series is over, and I believe we're gonna have to wait a few days for the NBA Finals to start. But until then, we just keep it moving. But continue to rock with your boy right here on the No Offense Radio, No Offense Network. Check me out on social media at JGoodWithSports. We're talking about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And your boy has been pretty active here lately on social media, and we're gonna continue to do so. Definitely gonna continue to do so. And also check me out, JGoodWithSports Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. So, with that being said, Thursday, if the Heat win, we'll be getting a quick preview of the NBA Finals. If they don't, we'll be talking about Game 5. But until then, enjoy this weather, get the money, protect your peace. And speaking of peace, until next time, peace.